What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Today's episode journey is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream, if you know him from the gaming community. And today's topic is a follow-up and question and answer to last week's episode, which was on tips for improving wellness while sitting at a desk, which includes gaming, working, or anything else that requires sitting. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and enjoy the episode. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm going to start off by saying this is going to be a very, very fast episode. I didn't even realize that there's 5 weeks in March, so I am going to record this one. It's been hectic around here because if you follow my personal vlogs that I just started with the kid child, we're actually leaving for Disney World tomorrow. Well, it's today, so yeah, it's Friday, the 25th of March. Awesome. Yeah. I'm posting all these on Fridays. It's pretty consistent, at least, even though it's supposed to be posted on Thursdays. Jeez, it's just been hectic around here because we're packing, getting ready to leave, and the kid child is she's 2 now, so she's in her terrible 2s, of course, making it that much easier. So, but I just wanted to I wanted to take the time in this episode because next week's the 5th week of, so the way our podcast works is 1st and 3rd weeks are the episodes, 2nd and 4th week is follow-up and question and answer, and the 5th week, if it ever comes up in a month, which technically this one is, because of the Wednesday, posting Thursday, so yeah, 5th week, if that ever comes up, it's just a fun one where we go back and answer any questions that may have come in after our follow-up and question answers. We go back, we just chit-chat, and just have fun with the episode. So basically, I'm taking this episode, it's going to be very short, to reiterate the importance of, posture, okay? We're going to start with that, but not only that, send in questions. You can listen to any episode, send in some questions. I will be glad to speak on those in a next week, in a 5th week episode where it's just fun chit chat. And so, but posture is incredibly important because last week is what we were talking about. Posture, sitting in the proper chair. And one thing I do want to mention on that, I don't think I said it this last time, but if you have a bad chair, so like from last week's episode, I have a pretty awful chair. And actually, it's very irritating to sit in. One thing that you can do to help your posture as a temporary solution is if you have a wooden stool or just a stool in general, sit in that even without a back, because that will force you to sit upright, right? If you're sitting in a stool, well, first of all, it's going to be flat so that right now, my chair, it leans to one side because that's how I've been sitting for so many years in it, that the padding is just worn out on the one side. So it forces me one way. The wooden chair or a stool, whatever it may be made out of, hard surface generally isn't going to do that. Now you can put a pillow in there. Just don't use the pillow for too long, right? Or on top of it as something to just add some comfort level to it. That would also help, but that will force you to sit up straight, because you're sitting in a stool especially without a back. So it's gonna keep the natural arch in your back because you're sitting in that seat, and it's gonna prevent you from compensating in other ways that the chair may be forcing you to do. But posture is incredibly important for a lot of different aspects of health, including the function of your central nervous system and your immune system. Of course, your mood, your energy levels. I mean, there's a lot that your posture controls. Or it doesn't necessarily control, but helps maintain, and it stems from really from the feet up, which is why I referenced getting a standing desk. The link was in last week's episode. You can go back and listen to the standing desk portion of that. The link is there. You can check those out. That's the one I have. There's a bunch of different companies. I'm not affiliated with any of them, but you can check those out and see what you think. They're reasonably priced as well, and being able to sit and stand is paramount to maintaining proper posture, especially when you're working long hours or sitting long hours in front of a desk, working, gaming, streaming, whatever it may be. So if anybody has any questions, again, this one's going to be very short and sweet. I mean, it might not even exceed 10 minutes. I apologize for that, but we are getting ready to go to Disney. We're very excited. You can check out my personal vlogs on those. But we will be back next week with a fun, just chit chat type, answer any extra questions that come in. So we didn't get any for this episode. So we're trying to work on, marketing a little more. If anybody is listening and knows anybody who may benefit from any of this information, or has similar questions that we are answering or subjects we're talking on, and they may have other questions in regards to those, please refer our podcast to them. Send them our links, and then send them our way to ask us those questions. We would love to answer those questions. And if anybody also has anybody who we're starting to reach out to get some guests on the podcast, right? Talking about various aspects of health and wellness, how it relates to improving their gaming, their work ethic, their mood, everything of the sort, just their overall wellness. If anybody has anybody who may be interested in being a guest on the podcast, reach out to us. Let us know. We would love to have some guests on the podcast. We're going to start doing that again, as we have in the past, and go from there. So this is just a short and sweet episode. I wanted to be able to do that to get it done before we leave. And, hopefully we get some questions to go over next week. If there's anything that comes to mind on anything I may have missed in last week's episode, besides for the whole wooden stool, seat, whatever it may be. I think I touched on a yoga ball. Yoga balls are good as well. I will certainly add it into the episode. So thank you for those who are joining and tuning in. All of our links, if you're watching live, or if you're watching on YouTube, all of our links are over here on the left. They're in the description if you're listening on the podcast platform. And I hope to see everybody next week, and everybody have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again.